What's going on, Raptors Nation? It is Luca here, back with another video. I wanted to quickly touch on the latest in terms of the Raptors trade rumors that have been circulating. We are officially into trade season, the unofficial start of trade season beginning on December 15th. And there's been a lot of stuff coming out. So I wanted to talk about it. Before we do just that, do me a solid, everybody. Hit a like on the video. It helps it a ton. And also, please subscribe to the channel for more Raptors content over here on the Raptors Nation YouTube channel. We got you covered, as it could be a very busy time for the Toronto Raptors. Right now, they are 10-15, struggling. Worst start to a season for them in 11 years. And change seems inevitable at this point. All arrows are pointing to some major changes going down in the Raptors, dealing one, if not both, of their soon-to-be unrestricted free agents in the summer of 2024, and that is OG Anunoby and Pascal Siakam. So the latest, according to Yahoo Sports, Jake Fisher, a big Raptors decision seems inevitable. As he says, Toronto's going to be forced to make a decision, one general manager told Yahoo Sports. So Fisher then confirmed that the Atlanta Hawks have been the suitor most connected to Siakam, which makes sense because Shams said not too long ago that the Hawks felt like they were close to getting a Siakam deal done in the summer. Obviously, that never went through, and the Hawks still remain an interested suitor for Siakam. And Shams also mentioned the Pacers and the Sacramento Kings. Jake Fisher also mentions that the Pacers and Kings are interested in acquiring Siakam, although he says the Kings and Pacers are more interested in acquiring OG Anunoby. Now, in terms of a potential Kings deal, Jake Fisher says that if the Raptors do a deal with the Kings are going to have to pay up. And I quote, for Sacramento to do business with Toronto, the Raptors are expected to seek sweet shooting Keegan Murray in exchange for either of their talented forwards. So if the Kings want OG or Siakam, it seems like the Raptors are going to be seeking Keegan Murray, which makes sense because if the Raptors are going to trade one of these players, as they should, they want to try to get the best haul back in return. And I mean, you look at Sacramento, some of the assets, current young players that they have, the most intriguing one of them all is Keegan Murray. Now, is Sacramento going to want to part ways with Keegan Murray? Probably unlikely, just because of how high they are on Murray, but the Raptors need to be seeking Keegan Murray because that would be the perfect type of player that you would couple with Barnes into the future. So, yeah, it looks like the Raptors are aiming high, which has always been the case for Masai Ujiri in these trade conversations. So it will be difficult probably to pry away Murray from the Kings, but that is the latest in terms of what the Raptors would be potentially seeking in a potential deal with the Sacramento Kings. And then, like I said, the Hawks, they continue to emerge in trade rumors, the Indiana Pacers, and then just today, the Detroit Pistons are expected to have interest in OG Anunoby and target him along with Tobias Harris. So there are going to be a lot of teams that are going to be calling up the Raptors and saying, hey, we want OG, we want Siakam. Let's try to make a deal here. It's going to come down to if the price is met. And what is an interesting wrinkle in all of this, which is what I wanted to mention in this video as well, is that December 30th is looking like a really significant date in terms of the Pascal Siakam trade talk. So this was a graphic that aired on ESPN. Sports Illustrated's Aaron Rose put it out on X. This is according to ESPN's Bobby Marks. Here are the Pascal Siakam contract details that could make things interesting in the coming weeks. So Siakam is eligible for a 4-year, $192 million extension with the Raptors until June 30th, 2024. If he is traded prior to December 30th, Siakam could sign same 4-year, $192 million extension 6 months after being traded. He would only be eligible for a 2-year, $84 million extension if he is not traded prior to December 30th. So that is significant because it's already going to be tricky to get a king's ransom in return for Siakam because he is a pending free agent. So the team that trades for Siakam runs the risk of losing him and simply just having him as a rental player. And if the Raptors don't trade Siakam before December 30th and trade him in the new year, then that team that trades for him would only be eligible to sign him to a 2-year, $84 million extension. Whereas if they trade Siakam within the next couple of weeks, literally less than 2 weeks away before December 30th, that team that trades Siakam would be able to sign him to the 4-year extension. And, you would have to think if a team does go all in for Siakam and gives the Raptors a big package, they're going to want to lock up Siakam. I mean, Siakam is still relatively young, 29, turning 30. The way he takes care of himself, he's definitely going to have a lot left in the tank over a 4-year span. Now, is this going to be a huge deal breaker? Probably not, because teams could be interested in doing something shorter. But, I mean, if a team wants to do something longer in terms of an extension, then they're going to have to get a deal done with the Raptors before December 30th. And in terms of the Raptors extending and re-signing Siakam at this point, I think it's extremely unlikely, guys, because you look at the situation, the Raptors paying up big and being able to keep both Siakam and Anunoby while Scotty Barnes is soon going to be in line for a major contract extension. It doesn't seem feasible at this point. So it is looking very, very likely that one of OG and or Siakam is going to be traded. The likelier player, and I've said this a ton, that is going to be traded, in my opinion, is Siakam. I could see the Raptors keep OG, and there's obviously a world where the Raptors trade OG as well. So a lot of interesting things, but just given the newest details we learned about Siakam's current contract, a Siakam trade could come sooner than expected. We'll see how this all shakes up, but things are getting interesting, guys. Trade rumors are heating up. The Toronto Raptors, it looks like they're going to be in the center of this year's trade deadline. A lot of people expecting the Raptors to finally make a pivotal decision in their franchise's current situation and really do something here, because, I mean, the Raptors need to do something here. This roster, as constructed, just isn't good. Raptors aren't winning games. And Masai Ujiri and Bobby Webster's jobs can be on the line here with how they handle this trade deadline and then the summer, because, I mean, you cannot have what happened with Fred happen here with two more top talents in OG and especially Siakam. So what is your thoughts to all of this, guys? Let me know your thoughts down below. Hit a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new. That is it for me. It's Lucas signing off. As always, thanks so much for watching. I will catch you all again in the next one.